Well, it's now official. Invicta Fighting Championship, second all-female fight card will come your way. Invicta FC2, July 28th at Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas, where history was made for Invicta FC1, a well-received event, and it looks like Invicta FC2 is maybe even better on paper in terms of the quality of fights. And, I mean, the first show was just a tremendous event, and very happy to be a part of it as the broadcast team. And, of course, a revelation with Julie Ketsy as an amazing analyst. We had King Mo the Wall on the team as well. And joining us right now, a young lady who has celebrated her birthday earlier this week. And I know never ask a woman her age. So, Shannon Knapp, I'll just say happy belated birthday and congratulations on putting together the second Invicta FC event.
Oh, thank you so much, Mauro. Thank you on all fronts.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the second card, and we'll start with the main event that we were able to announce during the first Invicta Fighting Championships card, and two very in ways different athletes, but both with already a lot of credentials in their various backgrounds. We're talking about Shayna Baszler, the slick submission artist who trains with catch wrestling specialist and Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix finalist Josh Barnett. 13 of her 14 wins have come via submission, and we've even seen her, do the twister on Showtime and her patented swing. But against Sarah McMahon, she faces the first American woman in history to earn a silver medal in women's wrestling. She is undefeated as a mixed martial artist. So talk a little bit about the main event and what you hope to, accomplish with these two ladies in the feature attraction.
Well, I think one of the best things about this main event is how well they are matched. Both of them have really strong ground games. And I think that this is going to be one of the times that Sarah is going to be really kind of challenged by the level of experience that Shayna brings to this fight. So I think that we're going to look at, I don't look for any stall outs and things like that. I think we're just going to see a really good main event where it's action-packed and a lot of movement. And I think that's important when you're watching, especially two athletes that are disciplined, and the same as far as the ground game and things like that. So I think it's going to be exciting, though, Mauro. I mean, this one I'm real excited about because I think we're finally going to see Sarah in action, pushed. And we just get to see Shayna back in the cage.
Shayna's a very charismatic fighter, and like I say, a submission specialist. And you mentioned the edge and experience, 4 times the fighting experience of Sarah McMahon. But again, in MMA, we know anything can happen at any given moment. And McMahon, who's looked dominant in her first 5 professional MMA fights with that wrestling pedigree. Baszler with her background under the auspices of guys like Josh Barnett and Eric Paulson. It should be a very competitive matchup. That is the feature attraction, but you look at the rest of the main card lineup, and there's not your 4 or 5 fights on the main card. There's 8 fights on our main card, 13 in total. And talk a little bit more about the mindset, the thought process in terms of the matchmaking for the rest of the main card, beginning with Alexis Davis, who we saw in a Fight of the Year Canada in her last fight, another loss to former Strikeforce women's bantamweight champion Sarah Kaufman. But what a barn burner it was, and it looks like Strikeforce, as you've mentioned from the get-go, Strikeforce and Bellator working with Invicta FC to give their athletes an opportunity to stay busy, and she'll take on another lady we saw in the Strikeforce cage, albeit, under different circumstances, in Itomi Akano.
That's very true. I think, once you sit down and you start building, your fight card, and there's just so many fights out there, and you start putting it together, and pretty soon you take a look and you're like, oh my gosh, we got 13, 14, 14 fights. But you know what? You can't get rid of any of them because they're all important. They all mean something. They all deserve this opportunity. So what we decided to do one more time is we decided to go in, put together a stacked fight card, and I'm going to add that a lot of the historians that have followed we'll call it historians in the sport, as young as it is, but that follow, the females in the say this is probably in history the best all-female fight card ever.
Well, you look at the names, and it's hard to argue that point. Like I say, just beginning research, and when it was made official, and you tipped me off to some of the fights you wanted to put together that had not been official yet. I'm like, wow, wait a minute, this one. You even look at Liz Carmouche and Caitlin Young, and just what they've done in their respective careers, and especially what they were able to do at Invicta FC. I mean, wow. You talk about another possible, show-stealing candidate. Caitlin Young did so in Invicta FC. Liz Carmouche, who's been in there already with the deep end of the talent pool. Another very intriguing contest.
Yeah, and I think that on this card you definitely get to see where we're bringing in a lot of female athletes from other countries. You definitely get a little feel of our working relationship that we're establishing with Japan. We've got girls coming in from Brazil. I mean, this is a great card, and it's just filled with a variety of different female athletes. So I think this one really goes out and makes the statement of what we've said from the beginning, but really gives you, a real clear idea of what our intentions are. I mean, we intend to bring in the best that's out there and to compete under one banner, and that's, the Invicta Fighting Championships. So I don't know. I'm excited about this. And Mauro, if you remember when that first card, I told everybody, wait, the second card will be better than the first.
And that's saying something, because a lot of people feel that first card is a tough act to follow. But again, you look at the list of names here: Milana Dudineva against Amanda Nunes. Easy for me to say. Kelly Cobold and Vanessa Porto, Barb Honchak and Bethany Marshall. Bethany Marshall, someone I've had the pleasure of seeing in action before, and a young up-and-comer. And Julia Budd, who was a Strikeforce athlete and a kickboxer, the only woman to beat Gina Carano in Muay Thai, taking on Alina Nilsson, and kicking it off, Sarah Schneider and Carla Esparza, not to mention, the 5 matchups on the prelims. There's a lot of compelling storylines, and again, it's just putting together the best ingredients for the best product, and like you say, these ladies already with their own pedigree, but just needing an opportunity to showcase their skills, and the Invicta FC banner, waving and flying high for women's MMA. What's the follow-up been like from Invicta FC 1? There are still people, Shannon, who come up to me and say, come on, Mauro, yeah, it was a great card, everything else. Did really 200-some thousand people see that event online? And all I can say is that's what Shannon Knapp told me. Oh,
I love it. For me, I love it. When they're doubting you and hating, whether they're hating on you or not, but they're doubting you, I mean, it's priceless. I mean, the bottom line is it's something that no one can take away from us, or the data, but, we have to support our claims, is that, yes, that first show was an amazing event. I mean, it went well beyond what my expectations ever were, going into it. I mean, I'd have been happy with whatever the number was, because, when you put it out there for free, you're not looking for that return other than just giving people a good opportunity to see a good product. So to know that many people, though, all over the world, and I've looked at the numbers, I know where, they watch the most, I know where we got all the support. It's pretty amazing. So, we haven't made this announcement yet again, but Mauro, we're going to go back and do the same thing again. We're going to give it away for free.
Wow. So
no matter where you're at, you're going to get the opportunity to watch it.
On the same website at InvictaFC.com?
That's correct, yeah. I think that it's a great card, and I think that, we're going to go back out there and prove another point one more time, that we're not a one-hit wonder, that we're serious about our commitment to what we've said we want to do and what we want to accomplish for the females in the sport. And, we've had some opportunities we could have broadcast it, in a partnership with, on a broadcast platform. But we've just decided that this next show, we just want to do it again. We want to go back out there and give everybody the opportunity to take a look at what it is we're doing, what we're about, and the direction we want to go in. So
what was I mean, obviously you've been knocking on doors, and I wouldn't be surprised if people haven't been knocking on your door in light of what went on with the first show. And not to, we don't have to reveal names of whatever, but what has that been like in terms of dealing with, are there broadcast companies knocking on the door hoping to become a partner, or where are you guys in terms of that? You say you're giving this show away free. What's the immediate future hold in terms of that following the second event?
Yeah, we have had several different networks, let's call them, they're pretty much networks. So, several different opportunities. And it's not that we've said no to those opportunities, because each one is very interesting in its own way. What it comes back to, for us again is going back in and making a statement and building our brand. No matter where you place your product, whether it's, any network out there, I mean, it doesn't reach everybody. There's always some kind of a cutoff somewhere. So for us, it's still about getting the word out there and building our brand. So we feel that the best way to do that is, once again, go out there, put it up on our own website that, is branded with our company name, put it out there and give it away for free and let everybody have the opportunity to check it out. I mean, it's one of the best ways to build upon what we're doing. And then I think, too, it's also going out there and making another statement saying, you know what, we're serious about this, and proving that we're not that one-hit wonder. We're gonna come in here, and we're gonna come into this space, and we're gonna do our best to, fulfill the commitment of what we've said. So I think that's pretty much where our mindset is with this.
And I appreciate, and I think a lot of fans do, the fact that they can see this high level of mixed martial arts, female MMA. And I know, Marlo's Coonan, the first headliner, telling me, no, it's women in MMA and MMA featuring women. It's the same sport, and we get that. But it still is unique in the fact that they have their own, a cage of their own, as you guys have said. And yet, it's all fine and good, Shannon, and I know you come from a pure place, and that's why I was so happy to be a part of the first card. Hope to be a part of the second one, and maybe you can shed some light on the broadcaster situation. But in order to help the sport grow, you need to make money, and it takes money. I'm wondering, how has sponsorship gone, or have you been able to win over some other sponsors in light of what happened the first time around?
Yeah, no, obviously. I think when you come out, and you have to understand something too, is, we did tell the numbers publicly, and, moving forward, we probably won't do that again, but the first time it was really to make a statement. It was like, there were doubters and things like that, but we've shared our data with people that we are aligning ourselves with, and yeah, a lot of people are amazed with what we did, as we are. But, so yeah, the sponsorship, everything is really going well, and I mean, we're definitely headed down the road that we want to go. And I think that's, like I've said this before, one of the most valuable lessons I've ever learned in this business came at the hands of the UFC, and that's controlling your product. As long as you're in control of it, then, it's your vision and you steer it. And, a ship is only goes in the direction steered by the captain that's leading it, right? Mm-hmm. So our bottom line is doing what's right for the company and and female athletes. What it comes down to. When do tickets for
Invicta FC 2, July 28th at Memorial Hall in Kansas City, when do tickets go on sale? What are we looking at in terms of pricing? The same? Or I know it's, I think, it starts at $25. I mean, that's cheap.
Yeah. I think that, last time it was $35, and we did good with their ticket sales and things like that. But I think that we can do better if we drop it down just a notch. So
you're actually dropping ticket prices for your second event?
What
are you, mad, woman? Are you crazy? That's awesome, actually.
I've been accused of that.
So yeah, give us an idea of where ticket prices start. How can our listeners get tickets for the event?
Well, the tickets, the starting price, of course, that's just your general admission is $25, and then they're $50 and $100. So everything else, our higher end tickets, all stayed the same. Just on some of the GAs, we dropped the pricing, but. Like I said, the biggest deal is, to get people in there. We're building the brand here and, creating, the awareness of what we're doing. So, Ticketmaster.com, of course, and then, that's it. They go on sale on Friday. We're excited.
What about the broadcasting situation? Is Julie Kedzie going to continue to grow her reputation as an analyst? I can't believe, because having been around, me, Shannon, around broadcasting all my life, I was just very still blown away by what a debut she made on Invicta FC1. And I know she was one of the breakout stars. The show itself was amazing, but I know a lot of people talked about Julie Kedzie and her contribution as an analyst.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Julie, is the female face in the broadcast team. She's, as far as I'm concerned, And, you know, I spoke to Julie about it. She is, you know, the female commentator for Invicta Fighting Championship.
And yours truly, you know, do I have to negotiate with you right now, or are we hoping to get the bipolar rock and roller back in KC on the 28th of July?
You know the bipolar rock and roller is always on.
And I don't know if we are. I mean, King Mo now having signed with Bellator and TNA, does that not allow him to do what he did, or are we looking at a different color commentator? What's his status?
No, King Mo will be back.
Oh, great!
For this event. Yeah, you know, and I'm sure that there are, you know, I mean, schedules, conflicts, and things like that, but. Yeah, no, I mean, you know me, I'm loyal to the end.
Well, and that's tremendous, and why we appreciate it. And not to put you on the spot or by any means, because you are the president of Invicta FC and stuff, but I guess from a matchmaking standpoint or a promoter standpoint, when you look at the lineup, and we talked, you know, you said how much you wanted to have Baszler and McMahon together. When you look at the rest of the fights, which fight on the main card are you really excited that you were able to make happen, like make a reality? I'm sure they're all, you know, all of them good. I'm just wondering, is there something that, you know, just even for us to because to me, Carmouche, Young, great, Akano, Davis, I'm just wondering, is there a dark horse matchup that you're like, you may not know this, Mauro, but this is what happened to take these together, and I think...
You know, as you say that, I look down at the card, you know, and I start to say, I'm like, well, you know, Amanda Nunes and Milana, to get Milana in the States, and then I'm like, oh, wait, though, Vanessa Porto's coming in, you know. And then you look again, I'm like, oh, the stand-up fight between Julia Budd and Elena, you know, that's it. I mean, that's what a real fight card should look like. You know, that's the card that you pick up, and, you know, just like the UFC last weekend, okay? Mm-hmm. I didn't know everything that was on that card, and then I started looking, I'm like, damn, this was card.
Yeah, it was a great card.
Top to bottom, you know, you look at it, and I think that's what a great fight card is that you start at the bottom and you look and you're like, oh, that's the fight, you know, and it's just that thing that, you know, you can't pick out which is the good fight. I think that defines what this fight card is about. Is I look at it and I can't tell you which one of these is going to be good, and I can't tell you, you know, if I had to take a break and walk away and not watch one of them, I couldn't. Do you know what I mean? They're all
absolutely.
Good.
No, and I understand, and I didn't want to put you too much on the hot spot there. But in terms of the future, and I know you're taking this an event at a time, coming off the big success in so many ways from the first card. Are we looking at where, you know, for the rest of the year? Do you want to do one more show the rest of the year, two more shows?
Oh, we're already on it. I mean, we'll be hitting it again in October.
So you're telling me that at Invicta FC 2, July 28th, we're going to announce the main event for an Invicta FC 3?
Well, I'm going to tell you, yeah, it happened.
That is awesome. Okay, so you're going to put it on again for free at InvictaFC.com. You mentioned where a lot of the viewers were at. Are you able to share any of that? Where were you surprised that a lot of the viewers came from the most? Or,
you know, I picked up the most was actually here in the United States,
sure.
Of course. You know, Canada was there too. We had a lot in Canada. But, you know, probably the hot spot in the United States, I will tell you, is in California.
Wow.
That was like the hot spot, you know. But we picked up 218,000 viewers out of the United States.
Jeez.
So
I just, again, to hear it because, you know, and you know people already, they tell you, well, wait a minute, UFC on Facebook only does not, you guys, yeah, what do you mean an all-female Invicta? What's Invicta? How can you guys do 200,000? And I'm wondering myself through your research, is it the novelty, do you think? Or why do you think it was that much for the first time?
And I'll be very honest with you because I've done a lot of analysis on this. I think it was because of the social media networking that we did.
Yeah.
I think that we had the same tools that everybody else has out there. That we just worked our tools differently. We used them differently. You know, and an example would be instead of, you know, going out and saying to our athletes, saying, hey, get the most numbers for your Twitters, you know, we'll give you bonuses. We went out and said, listen, you promote this event. You put your shoulders under this. We'll give you bonuses.
Wow.
You know, things like that we just switched it up a little bit. And, you know, Mauro, there's a difference. You know, I mean, I've worked with men my entire career. And then, you know, this is a new experience for me working with females. And I will tell you that there is a difference when it comes to the emotional attachment that these athletes have to what they're doing.
I think it's a case of where it is, they still feel, and even talking to them myself and talking to you, it's us against them. It's us against the world.
Oh, they're fighting a fight. And it's not just in the cage. It's the fight for, and I'm not a big women's liber, I don't toot that horn all the time or anything, but it's about equality. And it is about them just having the opportunity to fight. So when I go in and, give them that speech and say, hey, this is for you. This is about you. This isn't about me. I'm making less money than I have in 7 years. So when I say to you that we are in this with you and that it takes each one of us in here and do this, they know it's serious. And when they step in there, they fight the fight. So when you've got all these social media outlets, where everybody's twittering and it's for free, which is a huge thing. You don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to do anything. You just click and there it is. We're a company not a company, but we're a country that loves convenience, right? Mm-hmm. So the more convenient it is, the more people come.
I think you're onto something with that social media, because I told you as well, I just the amount of Invicta FC buzz on my timeline, and I cover everything, like all the fighters, but pop culture and different, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute, this guy's she's retweeting, who's this? Holy moly. So there's something to be said about the use of social media and how it proved to be successful. What do you feel you can do a better job of for an encore, Invicta FC2, as a promoter, as a stickler for details, as someone who is in it to win it? What is something you would like to see an even better job of execution for the second show?
Well, after, I had the opportunity to take a look at the footage and things like that, there were definitely a lot of things that, during the event and the flow and, whether it's simple stuff like the lighting to this, to that, there are a lot of things that, I took issue with, so we will fine-tune that. I think that we're still going to go with that same, I like the pace of it.
I love the pace.
I love that it goes, because that's what I like.
Yep.
When we do take that break in between...
You're going to have highlights or something instead of people going, is Mauro Ranallo in the washroom where maybe I might have been at that time?
Exactly. So then it won't be dead air time. I mean, we've already addressed that. There was, the lights went down too quickly after the first athlete entered. And there's stuff like that.
Sure. And again, that's repetitions. But in terms of the overall execution, you even, you said it that night. I'm sure it did exceed all expectations, and that's always a good start. Again, tickets for Invicta FC2. If you want to be there live and support this company, July 28th, Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas. And is this a case of where, you're based in Kansas City, I know. Is Memorial Hall going to be the hall built by Invicta FC2? I know it's held so many other great concert events, and I even dropped some pro wrestling names on the first show and calling it the place where Patsy Cline had her final performance. But are you guys looking to take the show on the road, or are you actually being smart, Shannon, and saying, you know what, we can keep our overhead this much, we can keep our expenses this way, let's keep it here for now until we are in a better position to take it on the road?
That is what we are, that is the mindset, yeah. Because, anytime that you do move something, you do acquire a lot more cost for moving it. We're centrally located right in the middle of the States. Flights, the cost of the hotel, everything matters when you're starting out in business. So, we get a great deal. Joe Kelly with Titan Fighting Championships, he is amazing to us. The commission, we work well with the commission. So, yeah, I'm going to say that for the time being, we are going to stay put.
All right. Well, you've given us already the scoop of the fact that it will be broadcast for free at InvictaFC.com. You mentioned the fact that you'd like to bring back the same broadcast team, of which I am grateful. I enjoyed myself immensely. But I got to tell you, not that I'm becoming an agent all of a sudden, but I had a guest on the MMA Show podcast recently, Shannon, by the name of Michelle Diablita Gutierrez. And, she may have not fared as well as she would have liked, but this girl, she's all about the hustle. Knows how to promote, and is definitely involved in some worthwhile causes, and is a fighter at heart, has had to fight her entire life. And I'm wondering, are we going to see Michelle Gutierrez in one capacity or another at Invicta FC2?
Oh, okay. So yeah. So this girl she has an entourage of fans like you wouldn't believe. They blow my Twitter timeline up constantly. But she does have that. She works the social media. She's talented. So yes, I I couldn't get her on the card, but to appease everyone out there, yeah, Michelle will be back. Michelle's actually going to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the website.
Nice.
A lot of video. We're going to be putting it up as we go. Right then and there. We've also got, we're doing a bunch of stuff this time. We're going to do for lack of a better way to call it, a 24/7 type on the main event.
Nice.
And so, we're going out there and we're doing a lot of different things.
And this will be all shown on the website, or you're looking to at least get it out there? Here in Canada, we have, obviously, the Score Television Network, but there's the Fight Network, a 24-hour combat sports channel. I know there's Fight Now in the States. Are you looking to produce it and keep it in-house, or are you hoping to...
No, we'll share the wealth on that one. We will share the wealth on that one for sure.
And so with Michelle Gutierrez involved as an internet contributor with reporting, I might as well, just get the list done here so they can get off my back more than anything, Miss Knapp. What about, we had Natasha Wicks doing a great job as the ring card girl, and I don't know if she's coming back. That would be great. But what about Jennifer Swift? Are you familiar with the J Swift Nation who, they're always trying to get Jennifer more work as a ring card girl, and she's a big proponent of female MMA. Any thoughts of maybe using that young lady?
It's a possibility. You guys got to stop, because I'm easy to talk into crap. That's why you guys do this to me.
Well, speaking of which, I have a film crew that I want to bring down with me from Toronto to maybe do, a day in the life stuff. Also, don't forget the red M&Ms, please, this time.
The red one?
And I'm sorry, Shannon, but charcoal gray is more my color than black. So for the limo next time, charcoal gray, please. Right.
Yeah. Yep. You're just becoming quite the diva.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I'm with Invicta FC. I might as well have some. No, just kidding. Some great people, and really, I applaud just everything that you continue to do. And I'm a big fan of. We go way back with Basito and everybody, and it's just cool that even for the second card, there's you guys set the bar high, and it looks like you're setting it higher. And I'm just hoping that the positivity continues, and it's up to the ladies and it's up to the fans to embrace this part of MMA. And I really do believe that there is a niche, and it's not even a niche. The women deserve a cage of their own. They've proven it time and again, and I can only see the more young ladies getting involved through watching Invicta FC and knowing that.
Exciting.
Yeah, it really is, and the fact that they have already so many stories. We're talking about an American Olympic silver medalist and someone like Shayna Baszler, who's been a trailblazer in the sport, and the international flavor, like you mentioned, and again, 8 main card bouts, 5 on the preliminary, all of them broadcast free at InvictaFC.com on July 28th from Memorial Hall in Kansas City. Tickets go on sale this Friday. They start at just $25. You can purchase them at Ticketmaster.com and InvictaFC.com. Shannon, again, happy belated birthday. Looking forward to being a part of the Invicta FC team again July 28th.
Oh, thank you so much, Mauro. As always, it's been a pleasure.
The MMA Show on thescore.com and iTunes.